Let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to be talking about fetishes, the things that you might or might not be aware of that are controlling your sex drive and part of who you are. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. All right, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Please follow me on my social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on Instagram. Snapchat, I go by YOUNGDAYGO. And, this video, I really want to, do some deep diving. We're going to be talking about fetishes. And a lot of people have fetishes, and it's all unbeknownst to the way that you go through your life every day. And you're like, you might you're going to be blown away on why you like somebody that isn't just with your physicality, your mentality, and your spirituality. Being spiritual and that type of connection. You're going to be connected on a fetish level. And you might be like, no, I'm not like that. That's not who I am. I mean, look, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with doing traditional sex. It's a beautiful thing. It's a magic moment in itself. But for some of us, we gotta have something else to get the engine started, make you feel like you're alive. And you can go through your basic fetishes, and I'll show you how it transcends into an everyday relationship that you may or may not know. And a lot of it has to do with roles of power. And sometimes, people like to either be, I like to say worshipped or the worshipee. And when you meet somebody that wants to, be the God, be the one that's I'm, just want to be like I said, worshipped, you're gonna have a perfect match when you have somebody that wants to do the worshiping. That's a beautiful thing. Problem being, a guy or woman or whoever that likes to be worshipped will end up trying to meet somebody, and they don't get that they don't get that connection with somebody, and they're like, oh, this is messed up. I don't get, this person's we don't connect. You know what I mean? And it's really has nothing to do with the what you're physically attracted to, because that is part of the ego. Your ego and your social structure designed what you think and what you like. So if you're into curvy women, if you're into skinny, an athletic type, body types are all depicted on what you were raised around, what you've seen, and kind of who told you what to like in a sense. And you might not think that, but if you were hanging around a bunch of guys that are oh man, you'd hear oh, Pam Anderson's the best, and this is just an example, you know what I mean? Some might be like Jessica, Alba, some might like Beyonce, J-Lo, some might like some might like Arthrea Franklin, for all you know. That's right. There's a lot of other deep fetishes out there, and I got a whole bunch of them, man, and that will be subject for another video, because I can get lost into the ones that I have. But I can give you a couple off bat, just to keep this exciting. I like BBWs, big beautiful women. I like all shapes, all colors. I like extreme curves. That's one of my likes. I don't know what it was, man. I just, as soon as I found out, when I found out that breasts can go past double D, I was blown away. I'm like, really? I'm like, they go bigger than that? I'm like, they can be beach balls? I'm like, that's amazing, and I like the ones, the big natural ones. I like the ones that are inflated, and I'm happy that there's a whole bunch of bodies out there that you can, enjoy to look at, man. It's a beautiful thing, because, is that all that I want? I mean, I would say no, because there's more to me than just the physical, just your go-to ego, what you were raised on. Big tits, big ass, BBW, extreme, just an extreme, bimbo look. That's just one layer. But I mean, it's like, dude, I'll like, I could like somebody that's completely opposite, like nothing, skinny, but just somebody that gives me the type of attention and satisfaction that I like, just making me feel good. That's a beautiful thing. And, to me, like a relationship is about who can enhance you beyond just sex, man, because it's more than just that. It's about who can enhance me for who I am, making me a better person. To me, that's a beautiful thing. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to have your ego likes. You're going to always have those, your first go-tos, the first things you were, essentially, masturbating, jerking off to. Like, those things are always going to be part of you. And some people are ashamed of what turned them on, and some people's fetishes actually turned them away from, being able to explore some of it. And, like, it puts you into, like, it creates phobias, and that's another thing we can get into right now. Like, if anybody, there's two types of people. Actually, there's three types of people when it comes to feet. All right, feet we're talking about. You got people that love toes, love to suck them, love to lick them, and that's me. I love feet, just like it was in the Bible, the Holy One liked washing people's feet. I mean, there's a reason, and I always find, beautiful set of feet on somebody is, you gotta love it. And that's another cool, that's a beautiful thing too, because everybody that might have these, the body type you like, there might be a body part on somebody that you like better. Like, you might be with somebody that's perfect, like athletic type that you like, perfect skinniness, perfect stomach, perfect, round booty that you like, and their toes could just be, not up to par with what your fetish likes. Or the fact that the person that you're with doesn't like to get their toes licked. Now that is an unbalanced match. And if this person is enhancing you completely, those are the things that you're going to have to learn to let go of. You're going to have to be like, you know what? I get so much more than just being able to have my fetish satisfied. I can let this go. And that's what it comes down to with a fetish. But this is why a lot of people, are, in a confusing situation, and why people end up cheating, and they cheat on people that look completely different than what they're with. You might be with a partner, like, why, like, I don't understand why the hell did she cheat on me with her? And it's just like, you know what, maybe he liked her feet better than yours, and you didn't like getting your toes sucked. And I know that might sound weird, or maybe she had a really big set of, had a big rack on her, and you didn't, or maybe, she was able to make this person feel a certain way. And this goes both ends, you know what I mean? Like this, maybe he likes to be worshipped, and you're not doing the worshiping, and, you guys have a beautiful, arrangement beyond that. But I mean, if that's not getting satisfied, sometimes it's going to have to get satisfied elsewhere, is all I'm saying. So going back to being, fetishes and phobias, like feet is definitely one of the quickest ones that you're going to see people that are like, oh my God, like I hate feet, feet are gross, like get them away from me. Like, oh my God, I hate it when they take their shoes off on a plane, and I can't stand looking at them. And it's just like, that's what you call a podophobe. Podophobia is pretty much, I put all these like phobias that are, body part related or germaphobic. I call them, these are rich people problems, because if you're born, obviously, I don't think somebody in India or somebody that was born third world in the street is going to have time to even fathom what being a germaphobe is and being a podophobe is. You know what I mean? Like germaphobia, like that's a whole nother topic of discussion. But, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is at some core level, you think you're better than somebody. And you're like, no, I don't have a bone like that in my body. I think everybody's this and we're all equal. It's like, well, then you'll do the work to find out that, you can actually hug a bum, You know what I mean? Shake somebody's dirty hands and not fall apart. You know, you ain't gonna have to fist bump everybody like Howie Mandel or Jerry Seinfeld, you know. And I don't mean to throw them under the bus, but these are known people in Hollywood that are, you know, obviously germaphobic, and I think that could have to do with how you're raised, you know, growing up. And me being, you know, I come from a Sicilian background, man, you know, Italians, and not all Italians are like this, not all foreign people are like this, but hanging out with a lot of, you know, different ethnicities and backgrounds that I like to meet is a lot of families like to give you this belief that you are better because you are Italian, because you're Lebanese, because you're, you know, white, black, like whatever. Like there's always some type of added like pride, like, yeah, I'm this, you know what I mean? So maybe a Jewish person, like, okay, you're, you know, be proud of that. And that is a beautiful thing to be proud of. But you could have a mom that's like, these people are filthy. Oh my God. Wash your hands, Jerry. Go, you better wash. These people are filthy. Oh my God. And that's what it, to me, this isn't all fact or whatever, but that is how I, like, this is where germaphobes come from. And that could be with Italians too. Like, these are people, they are filthy, they're dirty, they are no good. You know, and like that's stuff that, you know, you hear growing up. And fetishes all correlate into something called shadow work. This is those deep things that you, like I said, we're diving deep here today. Go ahead. Anybody that had any type of, you know, upbringing where you remember, you know, whether it was an Irish mom, a Chaldean dad, whatever, that kind of told you that people are filthy, or maybe they didn't tell you that, but go ahead, comment it down below. Tell me something that's, you know, crazy that you experienced. But anyways, what we're talking about is, you know, people have upbringings in their shadow that reflect where they're at in the everyday life. And, you know, these type of things, like, you might not realize that, like, that was part of what makes you think that you're better. And it manifested into something called a phobia. So you're germaphobic because you had somebody that told you that, you know, these people are dirty growing up. This is what I'm getting at. You know, somehow along the way that happened. It doesn't happen. I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen in a third world, you know, poor family that didn't have to deal with being blue collar and having to work with their hands for a living. I'm not saying that ain't possible to be a germaphobe there, but I'm saying it doesn't really correlate as well as somebody that was born into wealth. And there's nothing wrong with wealth. I love money. It comes to me when I call. Money's a beautiful thing. It's an energy source. We all need it to attract the freedom and abundance into our life. And that's something we should all just, you know, appreciate that it's here. The energy to have the things that you want to have appear are going to be there. And that's a beautiful thing. So talking about, you know, backtracking, you know, we're talking about the foot fetish, how there's people that love it and people that don't like it. And with the podophobes, I think it has to do with, you know, like I said, it could have to do with like the germaphobic type of, you could have had a bad experience as a child with a foot, or maybe a relative you didn't like, or I think it has to do with a suppressed sexual desire or something, like, because this was my problem. Like, I remember, like, you know, I love feet, all right, so but I didn't always like it. I remember, like, going through you know, junior high and high school, like, I remember I was grossed out by feet. I was in the same I was like, oh my God, I hate toes. And it's just like, why do I hate toes? And I discovered this real quick, real young, and I realized why. And it all has to do with my ma, you know, and this, you know, all sexual stuff is kind of down that line, you know, like Tony Soprano would say, like, does everything have to come to me having sex with my mother? You know, and it's like crazy stuff, man. Freud and the whole, you know, we're all just a bunch of sexual beings giving ourselves excuses of why we're not hooking up with one another. We're all giving ourselves the story of why we're not doing something with each other. And, you know, this is a story that I learned at a, you know, young age. And the reason I didn't like feet was because when my mom would come home and she'd pull her pumps off, like, you know, I liked that smell when I was a kid. Like, and I didn't realize like I was aroused like as 7-year-old kid or whatever. And then you're going through puberty and you got a whole bunch of just stuff just firing through your body, and you're like, I don't want to like my mom, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I hate feet. And like that's something that could be that could shadow somebody through their whole life. And it's just like, that's no way to live, man. You just gotta let live and let live. You gotta let go, let it flow. You know, I mean, if it's okay to be attracted to beautiful people, man, and like things that people have. I mean, this is one of the reasons why certain guys might not like women with huge, heavy tits or heavy breasts. You know what I mean? It might be because their mom looks like that, their aunt looks like that. They have a shaded memory of something that they don't want to recall, or 100 million other possibilities. I'm just saying that a lot of these things all come from childhood, and they shape the person that you're becoming, along the way, and they get distorted and cloudy. And this is why people have sexual misconnections, sexual misfires, and can also have problems in the bedroom. This is why people don't know they don't understand the magic of what's going on. Like, you just think that it's just like, okay, we're connected on this level. It's like, there's a fetish level that might be getting satisfied that you don't even realize, So yeah, feet, whole bunch of other stuff all correlates to your childhood and what makes you, who you are today, man. And that's some deep stuff, man. And we can go of course into some BDS, some S&M, chains and whips type of stuff, and people that like to get beat, basically, again, could be from your childhood, man. You could have got beat by your dad or beat by your mom, and subconsciously you could have had a sexual, some type of sexual energy that you felt from it, and it's what makes you feel alive. And this is something that you got to bring into the bedroom, and it's what is the only way you get turned on, and that's just one possibility of it. Or maybe you just like, the pain, because pain and pleasure are on a thin line, man. Right on that other side of pain, there's pleasure. And it's just like, that's a ride, that's a line of lightning that you got to dance on. And does everybody want to take that dance, and sometimes people can't even explain it, and you want to, if you're in that type of BD, if you're in that S&M type of movement, you're going to want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Because the funny thing is, you take any of these fetishes, society and the courts don't understand, like, it's not written in the laws of sexuality, which I think, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? You got to understand, you got to have communication in this day and age. That's the key, man. Problem being, people like the magic of, oh my God, I didn't know how this happened. It's like, sometimes people like to have that crazy, just, animalistic, break the door down, throw them up, and, have that type of thing happen. You know what I mean? And that's like, oh my God, he's so hot, or whatever. Some people like to be bossed around, and, they don't want to have to discuss this stuff, but you're going to have to, man. This is just the way it is. You're going to have to be like, all right, you like that kind of like thing? You like getting chained? You like getting whips? Like, all right, sign me up. Or you know what? I'm gonna take the back seat on this one. I'm gonna find me a different old town road to go down, because this isn't for me, man. This isn't my flow. So it's the best. I wish you the best. Find your chains and whip expert that's gonna make you, have that earthquake and body shaking explosion of love that I want you to have, man. But if it ain't gonna be with me, then you know what? You'll find it some other way. And that's what it comes down to with these, fetishes. And communication, definitely key. You're gonna have to get over the, you want to have the, because at the end of the day, this place is a magical place. But for the sake of, the society type of game that we're all living in, and we all gotta, play the rules sometimes. We gotta. Not, you don't have to play by the rules, but you gotta, you can bend them to a certain degree. And what I mean is, you're gonna have to just ask. Don't be afraid, and you're gonna find out things that you love, and find out things that might intrigue you and make you feel like, I'm glad we had this conversation. You'll find out things of what really makes somebody tick, man. And that's the stuff that really goes deep within and helps, get to the core of who you are, man. Because we are all from the stars. We are all one another, and all the stuff that makes us unique, all these layers of stuff, it's a beautiful gift, man. It's cool to have people that, want to be, somebody's going to want to be worshiped. Some people's going to want to be doing the worshiping. Somebody's going to want to be humiliated. And that to me, it's like, you almost feel like when you meet people with that fetish, it's like your heart wants to feel bad, because it's like, obviously this person's been made fun of so bad that they turned it into a sexual fetish. Like, this person wants to, obviously, to get turned on, they got to get, they got to get made fun of, they got to get told that they're worthless, and people love this. And that's why people pay the sex trades. And that's a whole nother game, whole nother topic that we can get in. We'll do some deep diving along the way. Go ahead, type down below any type of deep diving subject that you ever had, and any type of crazy fetish or somebody that made you, just get blown away. Like, I didn't know that this person was into this, because there's like a whole bunch of crazy fetishes. Like, people end up, marrying or, liking objects, like a tower, like a car. And where does it all come from? This is, like I said, shadow self, shadow work. And, of course, there's other types of sexual fetishes that, are beautiful too, man. It's cool to, that, somebody that's like so perfect might not have the perfect feet. And that's something that, you can be like, wow, this guy actually likes my toes, but I might not have it going on up here. But, you put the right pair of heels on, or sandals, or barefoot, that can, blow somebody away, and you didn't even realize it, and that's a beautiful gift. And, like I said, man, before we go deeper down the road and the line of, why people like to be cuckolded, and what that is, pretty much somebody that just likes to, like I said, be humiliated. And, sometimes there's cages involved, like, you put a cage on, your piece, and they just want to be just put into the back, just like, you're a piece of, you gotta just say some horrendous stuff. And when you got heart, man, it's just like, man, like, does this feel right? You know what I mean? Like, you want to feel like you want to come from the heart, and sometimes that's why that would be a situation that you got to back off on. But you take that cuckold to the right person that likes giving that kind of crap. That's a beautiful thing, and you got to appreciate that. Be like, you know what? That guy that likes talking all this and putting people down, there's somebody that wants that. So that that's what it really all comes down to, is connecting the dots, man, and making people line up with the right fetish and the right, that's what we call magic. That's part of it. The greatest, I guess, like what Houdini said, it's greatest thing about magic is, saying that it doesn't exist, or something along those lines. Don't quote me on that, but like, what magic is to make it feel real. You know what I mean? Make you not even know. And that's what I'm getting at, man. That's the magic in it, man. Just being able to line up a fetish with somebody that, you didn't even realize had it, and that's a magical connection. Because like I said, man, we can go deep down the rabbit hole of fetishes and cuckolds and chains and whips and equipment, and who knows, I'll do other deep videos on this, but I just wanted to give you guys a taste of what's going on inside the mind, because that's what this channel is really all about, man. It's about becoming your best you, and sometimes you gotta undo to find you. You gotta go peel back the layers and see what's under there, man. And some people don't want to take that ride, man. You get too afraid, man. But don't fear it, man. Have no fear. You got to let go. On the other side of fear is growth. That's where we grow. And that's what this channel is about, man. It's about making your penis bigger, thicker, wider, stronger, and harder. You know what I mean? And that's what I do. I got the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective. Make sure you guys get in my inbox. Add me on the social media if you want to sign up for, some Skype sessions, some online coaching. I'll teach you how to grow. I'll teach you how to diet. We can raise some, I'll teach you how to naturally raise your testosterone, human growth hormone, and I can also I can answer questions on fetishes, and I'm here to help you out, man. I can help you with your shadow self, help you understand fetishes a little bit better, and help you just be, more comfortable in your own skin, man. That's what this is, man. Life is supposed to be fun. Life's supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be exciting, and that's when you're living your best life, man. That's when you're in your true self, man. And that's, always make sure you find something every day that makes you smile. And just smile for no reason, man. Just, you see somebody, if you find a reason to just give them a quick, how you doing? How you feeling? It's always beautiful. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys have a beautiful experience. Make sure you guys sign up. Make sure you guys hit me up. I love you guys, and I'll be seeing you around. Peace.